Hello, fourth graders. Today in group, we're going to be talking about our domain-specific vocabulary for our two stories that we have been talking about and reading today. So our two stories were coming distractions and how do they do that. We spent a little bit more time on coming distractions than we did on how do they do that. But there are some key vocabulary words that I want us to look at. So here are our vocabulary words. The first one is producer. Then we have manipulate, release, and studio. So we're going to be looking at each of these individually. But what do all these words have in common? Media. All these words have some link to the media. And you might think of that like our two stories that we've been reading, Coming Distractions and How Do They Do That? Both have to do with movies, which is another way to say media. So our first word is producer. And what that word means is a producer is a person in charge of making a movie or a TV program. Or it can even be someone who puts on a play. So the producer is kind of the person in charge of it all. So this describes someone who they have the money for a film. I have this spelled wrong, so forgive me about that, fourth graders. Moving on, manipulate. Manipulate means to operate or control something. And this means especially with skill. You have to be good at something to manipulate. So with movies, describes what people filming movies do with cameras. They have to be skillful with moving around the cameras, and they have to control the cameras in a way for them to capture part of the scene that they want to in movies and even in TV programs. Our third one is release. Release means to make something, such as a movie, available to the public. So you might know like it as a release date, or when you are going to movies and you see the movie trailer and it says coming soon, and then I'll give a date. This is that release date. So the release date is often given in movie trailers, and this makes it available to the public. So available for you to go see it in the movies, or sometimes it even is available for you to go buy or even rent from Redbox or wherever, or even on Netflix. It's the release of something. The last one is studio. So a studio is a place where movies, TV, or radio shows, this is where the recordings are made in a studio. So people have to go to the studio and they make these recordings. So it can happen with a scene, with actors acting on a scene, radio talk show hosts. So if you are listening to the radio in the morning, you might hear some people talking, and they are in a studio and they're recording this. Even some singers, like pop star singers, they have to go to the studio and they sing into the microphone and they record it. And this all happens in a studio. So let's wrap this up. So during group today, I want you to come prepared knowing these vocab words, because we will be using them today during group. So we might be doing some turn talk, so just prepared to go over and talk about these vocab words, all right? See you then, fourth graders.